Barbara Gordon Breakout issue number 1. Now, this is, of course, the beginning of a 12-issue series, I believe. I could be wrong. I think it's 12. I Googled how many issues this is going to be because I'm like, this can't be like 40 issues. You can't. The concept alone of Barbara Gordon is in prison, there's so far you can go with that concept. So I'm like, it has to be at least 6 or 12. So it has to be between that, in that area. And for a first issue, I thought it was really well put together. I mean, like, what you have here is at the beginning a really good recap for the people who haven't read the last issue of Batman, where Barbara Gordon is captured by Van Savage, who is now commissioner, and he has a warrant for the Bat fans of the West. The Bat family are now the bad guys. Wayne Manor is now kablooey. It is no more, and everyone's on the run. And the one person who got captured was Barbara Gordon, who surrendered herself. She is now is found guilty, and she's off to Supermax. But of course, there's something more to it, that it was all part of the plan, and the whole plan of it. And this is like information kind of. It's not really heading into spoilers, but it's kind of giving you enough of a reason why she's doing the stuff that she's doing, why she surrendered herself, is simply there's a bunch of protesters, people who are in Supermax who should not be in Supermax, just because they were protesting against Van Savage. So they get thrown into prison, and 3 days later they get murdered, and it gets branded as a suicide. And Barbara knows that's BS, so she is like, I need to be in the inside. I need to be in the inside. And called Batman. Bruce is like, we can't do that. We have those things. You'll be on your own. And Barbara kind of shows, like, as much as Bruce really cares about people, cares about citizens of Gotham, Barbara's a whole different up there. Like, she is like that termination, because her response with Bruce's concerns is, we need to help the people who can't help themselves, even if they're like in this shitty situation they're in, and she's now in that situation, and it gives you a good amount of background, and gives you enough of that information. And then the other half is day one in Supermax, and it's Gotham. It's not just a prison, it's a prison in Gotham. So, like, the prisoners are kind of happy to run loose and do whatever the hell they want. The prison guards are whopped as hell. And like, there's a prison fight. Someone's getting their ass kicked for, looking the wrong way. And they're just, the guards are just sitting there to watch, all that's missing is them snacking on that popcorn. And this, even, and it is kind of interesting also with Barbara, knowing that she has this determination of, like, I need to help people who can't help themselves, that she can't even help herself knowing the situation she's in, because her stopping the prison fight is going to spark people not to, like, oh, the new girl wants to fight, the new girl wants to do this, the new girl thinks she's hot shit, and is going to dethrone us, and all that kind of stuff. And what you have is, it's like, day one you had to fuck it up. Like Barbara, you could have to stay low and investigate when everyone's asleep, but no, you had to. Day one, you had to bloody stick your nose and do the superhero thing in prison bars. And that. Which gives you the introduction to the character, or at least the introduction in the series to, what's the character's name? D? Who is apparently, who believes, who's delusional, believes that she is Two-Face's daughter. Not the daughter of Harvey Dent, but to Two-Face. I know it's weird. It's like the same fucking person. I mean, anyway, D is clearly going to be the main obstacle, or at least the major challenge, because there's always that one character in these type of stories where, like, any of these like prison shows or movies, where there's one inmate that's up the main character's ass, and in this case it's D. She's the one who's like questioning, like, who are you, girl? What's going on? Why are you acting this way? Are you this? Are you the commissioner's? Yeah, are you like Cop Gordon's daughter and all that kind of stuff? Like, she's like egging it on, but Barbara is like, look, the shit that you're saying right now, you're meant to you're meant to stare at me, but it's not working. And it's safe to assume that it's not Barbara Gordon in the prison. It's Batgirl in the prison, who is disguised as Batgirl, because it's like, look, she has dealt with these people before, all these personalities. So all these threats means would be flipping do. She knows that, like the all these like toughness is just is nothing to her. But clearly D, is going to be that character. And by the end of this issue, Barbara Barbara knows the environment she is in now, like, fully. It's one thing I always say, there's the idea, and there's the reality, and she has an idea what the prison is like, what Supermax is like, and what the reality of Supermax is like. And she now knows what the inmates are like. She knows that the guards who were prior inmates are like. How they just watch, how her being the commissioner's, Jim Gordon's daughter ain't gonna they're not gonna make her life easier. All that. It's just her knowing the environment, and by the end probably by issue 2, the plot is going to move forward, and we'll understand what's happening. And we'll get the idea of the main story of Fall, and who's been knocking out these protesters who have just not even survived a week. If they are just regular inmates or just someone else completely different. The one thing I'm curious about, like, it feels realistic, but I don't think they'll go there. Some people will know that Barbara is the former commissioner's daughter. Would they make a Killing Joke reference? Like, I don't know, I'll do worse than whatever the Joker did to you. Like, trying to be all tough and all that. I feel like that's something realistically, like, a prison inmate would say. Because it would be basic information that the Joker cripple, Commissioner Jim Gordon's daughter. That would be the basic gifs of things. That would be basic information. I think that would be realistic. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would drop that. I feel like that would be something you would say in a Black Label book, but this is not a Black Label book. This is a regular DC in main continuity book, so I don't think they would do that. But anyway, if you read this issue, comment below, let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna read issue 2 completely. So yeah, anyway, comment below, let me know your thoughts.